Welcome, good morning. So have a few props ready. It's the same props that we've been working with over these past weeks at home. A chair, you can just use your dining room chair. Strap if you have one. Scarf or bath towel or anything similar if you don't. If you have blankets, you can use blankets. If you don't, sit up on some books, sit up on some bath towels or some just blankets from your bed. Blankets from the bed are usually a little softer, so you need a few more, but you can use the blankets from the bed. Block, or again, your stack of books for that. Those thick ones like the dictionary and thesaurus work really well. Then come to a comfortable seat. Just lightly rest your hands. And before changing anything, take a moment to just do some noticing. Noticing the current experience of your body. Noticing the current experience of your mind, of your thoughts traveling through the mind. And noticing the current experience of your breath. Notice where it gets stuck. Notice where it flows. It's always helpful to take this pause before jumping into changes to check in with where we are. And then we can begin our adjusting from there. So bring the awareness to the sit bones and find that even balance. What do you need to adjust to get an even balance on the two sit bones, left sit bone, right sit bone? Allow gravity to take hold of your thighs. You don't have to push them down. You're not pushing with your hands are light. But let gravity take hold of your thighs and find a lengthening and releasing from the inner thighs to the inner knees. At the same time, find a lengthening from the upper inner thighs back into the body, back towards the lower abdomen. So from the lower abdomen to the inner knee, the whole groin, both legs, groins are lengthening. Descend the flesh of the inner thighs. So the inner thighs descend from the front of the leg towards the back of the leg. And while maintaining that lengthening and releasing of the inner thighs, draw from the outer knees to the outer hips and compact the hips together. Try and bring those outer hips closer to each other. Obviously, they don't really move. It's more energetic. But can you bring those outer hips closer to each other? While at the same time maintaining the lengthening and the releasing of the inner thighs. And now do a checking in. The experience of the body. The experience of the mind. The experience of the breath. It's changed. All three of those have changed. What's different? What is it now? And then continuing, maintaining the experience of the leg, not moving the awareness, but expanding the awareness. Lengthen from your hips to your armpits. Notice the tendency to push the front bottom ribs forward. So take the front bottom ribs towards the back body. It helps to take the top of the buttocks down. That creates space for the ribs to come in. Sometimes as soon as we do that, there's a gripping of the inner thighs. So can you maintain that awareness of the legs, the lengthening of the inner legs, while we do the adjustments to the torso, from bottom ribs back. And then the lengthening from the hips through the armpits, lengthening through the waist, lengthening between each and every set of side ribs. Notice which side lengthens more. And can you bring a sense of evenness to the two sides? Keep in mind, for many of us, we'll have to work unevenly in order to become even. Keep your elbows where they are. Bring your palms together with your thumbs at your chest. Use the thumbs to move the flesh of the skin of the chest up. And keep the front bottom ribs moving to the back body. Move the shoulder bones away from the sides of the neck. Right, so we often talk about broadening the chest. And yes, there is a broadening of the chest here, but can you broaden both the chest, the front body, as well as the back body? Make the top of the back wider as well as the top of the front. So there's a lengthening from the base of the spine to the top of the spine. And there's also a broadening, a widening outward. Soften all of your facial features. Let your eyes draw back and down to gaze at the seat of your heart, the seat of your soul. And check in again. What's the experience of your body? What's the experience of your mind? What's the experience of your breath? How do these subtle actions that we've taken just for a few minutes here, not even, how do they affect your current world experience? Let's chant the syllable Om 3 times together. Exhaling completely. Deep inhalation. Lifting your sternum towards the ceiling, lower your chin towards your heart. Release your hands onto your thighs with your palms up. With your eyes closed, raise your head. Gently let your eyelids open. All right, let's come to standing. Come into Tadasana, feet together. If feet hip distance apart is more accessible to you, then take your feet hip distance apart. Balance evenly on your 2 feet. Press the thighs back. Still lengthening from the inner knee through the lower abdomen, lengthening the whole inner groins. The flesh of the inner thighs moving from the front of the leg to the back of the leg. And lifting the outer knees to the outer hips, compact the hips together. Maintaining the experience of the legs, lengthening through the side ribs. So the front bottom ribs move towards the back body, the top of the buttocks moves down. And lengthening from the hips to the armpits. So there's a lengthening through the waist, and then there's a lengthening through each set of side ribs. Notice which side lengthens more. And can you work unevenly to find a sense of evenness? Move the shoulders down and away from the sides of your neck and extend through the arms. See that your head is not pushing forward. But even though your eyes are open and you're looking outward, there's a gaze inward as well. So you're looking outward and inward at the same time. The back of the head is in line with the buttocks, as if you're leaning against the wall. Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. Take your fingertips up by your chest, bend your legs. Jump or step your feet apart. Take the wide stance with your feet below your hands. Yes, we're going right into it today. It's like the old days. The old days, at least, I don't know, they're not the real old days. But when I started yoga, you knew in Iyengar class because you started off in Tadasana and then jumped right into the standing poses. Drop your arms. Don't drop your arms. Drop your shoulders. Keep the arms lifted. Balance evenly on your 2 feet. Lift from the outer knees to the outer hips. Lengthen from the inner knees to the lower abdomen. Lift up through the side ribs. Are you holding your arms up from your armpits or your shoulders? Ensure that you're holding them up from your armpits, not your shoulders. Turn your left foot in, turn your right leg out. Take your front heel in line with your back arch. Press the outer rim of the back heel. Turn the front thigh out and lift both outer knees to outer hips. There's a strong lifting action. Even though the feet are pressing down, the back heel, the front big toe. There's the rotation of the front thigh. The back thigh moves back. There's that strong lifting from the outer knees to the outer hips. Now maintain that. Maintain the legs. Don't lose the legs. Reach through the back arm. So reach through your left arm. Inhale, exhale, come down. Take your hand on your shin. Or if you want to use a block, you're certainly welcome to use a block or the chair. Keep pressing the back heel. Turning that front thigh and lifting those outer knees to outer hips. Extend those arms away from each other. Both the front and back bodies, opening, widening. And reach through that top arm, pull yourself up and out, parallel your feet, right over to the other side, right foot and left leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch, press the outer rim of the back heel. On the front leg, you're pressing the ball of the big toe. Turn the front thigh out. Lift both outer knees to outer hips. Compact those hips together. Maintain that. Reach through the back arm. Inhale. Exhale, come down. You can look straight ahead. Ultimately, your gaze will look upward. It's our first one of the day. It's fine to look straight ahead. Press the back heel. Press the ball of the big toe. Front big toe. Turn that front thigh out, lift both outer knees to outer hips. Compact those hips together. Extend those arms away from each other, the front and back body opening. Pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet. Right over to the other side. Yes, we're going right back over. Got a lot to get to today. Press the back heel, turn the front thigh, lift your outer knees to outer hips. Inhale, exhale, come down. Take your left hand on your hip. Now really work the legs. So the back thigh moves back, press the back heel. From that hip, press into the back heel. Turn that front thigh out and lift the outer knees to the outer hips. Now on both legs, really get that lifting action. Many of you will notice the torso begins to move as you really compact the hips. As you lift the outer knee to the outer hips, that helps rotate the torso. And then extend the arm up. Taking a moment to observe, svadhyaya, self-study. Pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet, over to the other side, right foot and left leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. Press that outer rim of the back heel. The back thigh does go back from the hip press into the heel. Front thigh turns out, lift from the outer knee to the outer hips, both legs. Reach through the back arm as you come down. And then take your hand on your hip. Back thigh moves back from the hip press into the back heel. The front thigh turns out, lift from the outer knee to the outer hip. Both legs, outer knees to the outer hips. As soon as I really get that, my torso begins to turn. Yes, I can turn it more, but the legs do a lot of that work. And from there, it's easy to extend that arm up because the opening is already there. Take a moment to observe, opening the front and back sides of the body. And pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet. Jump or step your feet together. So here's the plan today. We're going to be doing a lot of triangle poses. Utthita Trikonasana. But we're going to be doing them between other poses because often as we go through the yoga practice, the yoga sequence, we go from one pose to the next pose, to the next pose, to the next pose. And it doesn't give us a lot of opportunity to understand the effects that one pose may have on the body or on another pose. So you can do this with any pose. Today we're going to use Utthita Trikonasana as our, let's call it a base pose, because no other better word is coming to me. And we're going to do some other poses. We're going to see how each of those poses, how some of the other standing poses affect triangle pose, how some of the how some twists affect triangle pose, how downward dog affects triangle pose. So we'll have a better understanding of what these poses are really doing. So first, let's lengthen through the sides of the body. Urdhva Hastasana, arms forward, arms up. Press through the feet. There's a pressing through the feet in Urdhva Hastasana. Yes, there's a lengthening from the inner knee to the inner groins, and that reflects all the way up into the torso, front, bottom ribs back, top of the buttocks down, the thighs, of course, press back. But now as you press through the feet, extend through the arms. So it's not just that you're trying to lift up with the arms, but the feet help create traction. The feet and arms together help create traction through the whole body. And use your hands to pull upward. So push down through the feet and pull up through the hands. Turn your arms up to the sides. Exhale, come down. One more time, arms forward. Keep those front bottom ribs in. Don't just correct when you go up. So keep the front bottom ribs towards the back body. Press through the feet, bring the arms up. Press the thighs back, outer knees to outer hips, lengthening the inner thighs. Now push through the feet. Now, what I just said, the first time we did it was pull up with your hands. Now I'm changing that. Don't pull up with your hands. Instead, from your side wrist, press down with the feet. From your side wrist, push your arms up. Keep the front bottom ribs towards the back body. From your side wrist, push the arms up. There's not a right and wrong, but we want to be aware of what different actions do even in the same pose. It really makes it a different pose. It even makes it different for me and my hips. And lengthen through the armpits, lengthen through the arms. But you're pushing from those side ribs. Push down to the feet. Turn your arms out to the sides. Exhale, come down. Now let's see what happens when we do triangle pose again. Fingertips up. Bend your legs. Jump or step your feet apart. Drop the shoulders. Hold your arms up from your armpits. Balance evenly on your feet in this part, this transition part of the pose. Outer knees to outer hips. Left foot in, right leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. Press that back heel. Turn the front thigh, lift the outer knees to the outer hips. Extend through the back arm, inhale, come down. Now you just study. You know the actions. Take the thigh back thigh back, press the heel, turn the front thigh out, lift the outer knees to the outer hips. What's different? Pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet, other side, right foot and left leg out. Press into that back heel, turn the front thigh. Lift both outer knees to outer hips. Maintain that, reach to the back arm, come down. What's different on this side? Reach up through the arm, pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet. Jump or step your feet together. Tadasana. All right, let's take some twists. So take your chair. Have the back side of your chair facing towards the right side of the room. And just have a seat in it. Hopefully all of your chairs have something to hang on to here. Now square your knees, hips, feet to the best of your ability, given whatever chair you may have. I'm gonna scooch back a little bit. I don't like it when my feet are half on the mat and half off. You want your feet to be on one surface. Even here, just sitting here, my front ribs protrude forward. So I have to draw the front bottom ribs towards the back body, which helps lengthen the side ribs. Now extend your arms forward and up. So now instead of pressing through the feet, you're pressing through the sit bones to extend up. Front bottom ribs back. Then take the arms out to the side to widen across the collarbone, but don't forget that back body. Can you widen across the back body as well? Now don't sink. Inhale, lift. Maintain the lift. Exhale, turn. Take hold of the back of the chair. Now the left hand is going to pull, the right hand is going to push. Inhale, lifting up through the spine and side ribs. Exhale, turning. Notice I'm not turning my head. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. Take your elbows up and out to the sides. You can drop them, but if you lift them up, you get that broadening across the collarbone, across the chest, but also across the top of the back. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. Practice svadhyaya, practice self-study. What are you noticing? What are you witnessing? Inhale, exhale, come to center. Stand up, turn the chair around. Have a seat. Of course, you can also just turn around on the chair. You don't have to stay facing me. It's up to you. If you turn the chair around, you stay facing me. Otherwise, you just turn around and your back is to me. I'm not offended either way. Front bottom ribs back. Balance evenly on your sit bones. Which sit bone has more weight on it? Adjust here. Lift up through the side ribs. Now more length through the side ribs. Arms forward, arms up. Right, we always need to lengthen when we turn, when we twist. Top of the buttocks down, front bottom ribs in. We also want to widen. So extend those arms out, but keep the lift as the arms go down. Some of you are dropping as you take the arms down. Maintain that lift. Inhale, maintain the lift. Exhale, turn. Keep the head facing forward. Don't worry about the turn of the head yet. Elbows up. Try not to drop them down, but elbows up. You can come in, have a seat, Mateo. Inhale, lifting. What is that?
Bee.
A bee? A bear in a bee? Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. Pulling with the right, pushing with the left. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. Keep those front bottom ribs back. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. Drop the shoulders. Open up both the front and back sides of the body. As the elbows are lifted, the elbows move away from each other. Maintain the lift. Inhale. Maintain the lift. Exhale. Come to center. One more time. So either turn around on the chair or turn the chair around. Are you feeling any more length in the side ribs? Just notice first. And arms forward, arms up. Front bottom ribs back, top of the buttocks down. Keep the lift, arms out to the sides. Maintain the lift. You notice how there's a tendency to sink when you take the arms down. Want to keep the lift, extend. Inhale, exhale, turn. Elbows up. Yes. Waffles. Oh, those are cool. I think we're going to have some waffles later. It's okay, it doesn't matter. You can stay here. Okay, inhale, lifting. exhale, turning. Shoulders down. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. So elbows up, but shoulders down, right? We want them to go together. If the elbows are down, the shoulders go down. Shoulders up, elbows up. No, elbows up, shoulders down. Inhale, lifting, exhale, turning. Keep the front bottom ribs back. Do you notice how they puff forward? Top of the buttocks down. Soft face. If your face is hardening, you're working too hard somewhere. Inhale, maintain the lift. As you exhale, come to center. Turn around. Either turn around on the chair or turn the chair around. If you want to see my beauty here, of course, you have to turn the chair around. Arms forward, arms up. Push into the sit bones. As you can do that action here too, of from the side ribs extending up through the arms, right? You can pull with the hands and you can push with the side ribs. They're slightly different. Either way, bring those front bottom ribs back, top of the buttocks down. And maintain that lift, arms out to the side. Inhale, maintain the lift. Exhale, elbows up. Ooh, yummy. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. Use your hands. Push and pull against the sides of the chair. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. Elbows up, shoulders down. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, turning. Observing. When I get silent, it simply means observe. Svadhyaya. Inhale, maintain the lift. Exhale, come to center. And just to check things out, arms forward, arms up. Does it feel different? What's different? What's changed? And then just take your arms back down. Put the chair back to the side. Guess what we're doing next? Teacher Trikonasana. Fingertips up. Bend your legs. Jump or step your feet apart. Drop the shoulders. Hold the arms up. Outer knees to outer hips. Lengthen from the inner knees to the lower abdomen. Left foot in. Right leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. Press into the back heel. Turn the front thigh out. Lift the outer knees to the outer hips. Reach through that back arm. Inhale, exhale, come down. And take your left hand onto your hip. Do the adjustments. Take the left thigh back. Press into the heel. Turn the front thigh out. Still press to the ball of the big toe, front big toe. Lift the outer knees to the outer hips. Let the head go back. Rotate the torso. Extend the arm up. Any different? Without me even noticing it, I notice my hand is closer to my ankle. I didn't intentionally go lower, but I am lower. And it's not harder to go lower. That's for me. What is it for you? Reach through the arm, pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet. Right foot in, left leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. The back thigh goes back, press the outer rim of the heel. Turn that front thigh out, lift the outer knee to the outer hip. Reach with the back arm. Keep the legs. Inhale, exhale, come down. Right hand on your hip. Back thigh back. Press from the hip into the back heel. Turn the front thigh out as you still press through the ball of the front big toe and lift both outer knees to outer hips. Head back. Compact the hips together. Let the torso rotate. And then extend the arm up. Svadhyaya, self-study. How is your pose changing over time? Reach up, pull yourself up and up. Come on, buddy.
Yes.
Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I just want to get stuff.
Okay. Sorry about that. We had a little microphone issue as we're walking through the room. Pull yourself up and out. and come back to Tadasana if you haven't. I saw some of you did, some of you didn't. All right, back to Tadasana. So take a moment to hear. Tadasana is also a wonderful place just to check in and study. What's different here? What's changed? All right, downward facing dog. Come onto your hands and knees. Of course, you can use blocks for downward facing dog, or the chair for downward facing dog, or the floor. Press down to the ball of the first finger and thumb. Rotate the upper arms out. Push into the hand, lengthen through the arms. Then turn your toes under, straighten your legs, push into the floor. Inhale, exhale, come into downward facing dog. Bend your knees slightly, lift your hips high up. Push your hips back. Sit bones high up, sit bones back. And then when you go to straighten your legs, maybe doing what we were working on last week, opening the eyes of the knees. So the top of the calf goes down, the bottom of the hamstring goes up. Lengthening through the arms and legs. Make both the arms, both the legs longer. Lengthening through the side ribs. And bending your legs, come down to your knees. You want both knees to touch at precisely the same moment. And then one more time, lengthen through those arms. Press through the inner hand. You do rotate the upper arms up, but don't give up on the pressing of the inner hand. Turn your toes under, straighten your legs. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, downward facing dog. This time, simply keep the legs straight. But still, top of the calf down towards the heels, bottom of the hamstring, up towards the buttocks. Opening the eyes of the knees, as you lengthen through the arms, lengthen through the legs. Let the head go. And look up, walk your feet forward. Take your hands on your hips, elbows up. Inhale, come up. Feet together. Tadasana. Utthita Parshva Konasana. You may want a block for this one, a block or a chair, so you can take a block on the side of your mat. You can take a stack of books on the side of your mat. If you don't have it, I'll show you what you can do. Fingertips up, bend your legs, jump or step your feet apart. Again, it's the wide stance, feet below your hands. Drop the shoulders. Front bottom ribs back. Of course, starting from the base, pressing the feet evenly, outer knees to outer hips, compact the hips, lengthen from the inner knees, all the way up through the abdomen. The thighs themselves press back. Turn your left foot in, right leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. The same actions to the legs here. The back thigh back, press the heel. Turn the front thigh out. Reach to the back arm. Watch that cord. Reach to the back arm, then bend your leg. Now, if you don't have a block, you just take your forearm on your thigh, and that's fine. Or if you have your block, you take your hand to the block. It can be a high block, medium block, low block. If you're very flexible, you can use the floor. That's fine. And reach up with that left arm. Rotate the arm so the palm faces your ear, and extend that arm right over your ear. Pressing into the back heel. Sitting into it. Rotate the torso and extend to that whole left side of your body. Yes, sweetheart. And reaching through the arm, pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet over to the other side. So you can move your block. If you have two blocks, of course, you put one on each side. Right foot in, left leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. Press the back heel. Turn that front thigh with both outer knees to the outer hips.
Dada, don't use the baby box.
Okay, get me the other block. Press through the back heel, reach through the back arm as you bend the front leg. Inhale, exhale, hand down on your block or your forearm on your thigh is fine too. Reach up, rotate the arm, and extend your arm over your ear. Pressing that back heel, sit into it, extend through the whole side of the body. Can I use the wood block?
I love the wood block.
I do too.
Well,
You want me to use the foam one? Okay, take the wood one. There you go. Any block works. Reach through your arm, pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet and jump or step your feet together. Tadasana. Checking in with yourself here. One more time. Move the block to the other side, actually. And then fingertips up, bend your legs, jump or step. Drop the shoulders. Left foot in, right leg out. Press the back heel, turn the front thigh, lift the outer knees to the outer hips. Now keep pressing that back heel. Inhale, exhale, bend the leg. Right hand down. Take your left hand on your hip. Bye, guys.
goodbye.
Bye, my love. Mwah. Okay, we'll see you when you get back. We'll make those waffles. I love you. Take that left thigh back, press into the heel. Now on that front leg, this front hip tends to move back. Now Karen Higgins, you obviously don't do this. You have replacement hips. You have to listen to your hips. But for everyone else with original manufactured hips, take that right hip forward. The right knee goes back, the right hip goes forward. But that left thigh still needs to move back. So the back thigh moves back, the front hip moves forward, and the front knee moves back. So there's this opening in the pelvic area. And that also then helps rotate the torso. My head is now looking up. Extend the arm up, rotate it, extend overhead. Have the arm come behind your ear, not in front of it. Observe your pose. Reach through the arm, pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet. Block, chair, whatever you're using, to the other side. Right foot in, left leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. That back thigh moving back, press the back heel. Front thigh turning out. As you turn that front thigh out, bring the hip in, right? You don't have to just correct once you go down. So start here with the back thigh moving back, pressing the heel. The front thigh turning out, and as you draw the outer knee to the outer hip, bring the hip in. So the back thigh moves back and the front hip goes forward. Extending the arms, pressing that back heel as you bend the front leg. Don't let the hip go back. Take your hand down, right hand on your hip. Now check, did the hip go back? So take the back thigh back, press into the heel, take the front hip forward. Don't let the knee go forward when the hip goes forward. So the hip goes forward, front hip goes forward, the knee goes back, there's this opening in the pelvic area. Then lean back, let the head go back, rotate the torso. Finish the pose, extend the arm up, rotate the arm, extend your arm over your ear. Observe your pose. Reach through the arm, pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet. Jump or step your feet together. Tadasana. Just move the block out of your way. We'll teach you Trikonasana. Fingertips up, bend your legs. Jump or step. Left foot in, right leg out. Press the back thigh back, press the heel, turn the front thigh out, lift your outer knees to your outer hips. Reach to that back arm, inhale. Exhale, come down. Take your hand on your hip. Keep that back thigh moving back as you press the heel. Notice in this pose too, just like in Utthita Parshva Konasana, that back hip goes back. Take that hip forward as you turn the front thigh out. Oh, there, my whole torso rotated. Maybe there's room to slide your hand down a little bit. You get closer to your ankle or closer to the floor. Ultimately, the hand is flat on the floor. Rotate the torso, extend the arm up. Observing your pose. And then reach up, pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet. Other side, right foot and left leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. Take that back thigh back, press into the outer rim of the heel. Turn the front thigh out, lift the outer knees to the outer hip. Release both legs, those outer knees to outer hips. As you turn that front thigh out, take the hip forward. So the back thigh is moving back and the front hip is moving forward. Maintain that. Inhale, exhale, come down. Right hand on your hip. Reestablish the legs. Take the back thigh back, press the heel. The front thigh turns out, lift the outer knee to the outer hip, and take that hip forward. So the back thigh goes back, the right hip goes forward. That already helps turn the torso. Do I have any more room here to get closer to the ankle, closer to the floor? I do. Lean back, head back. Maybe the head turns up more easily for you now. Don't force that. It's fine to look forward. Don't force the head turning up. It should not hurt your neck. Observe your pose. Reach through the arm, pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet. Jump or step your feet together. Tadasana. Breathe. Check in with yourself. Parshvottanasana, side angle pose. I'm sorry, Parshvottanasana, side forward bend. Fingertips up, bend your legs. Jump or step your feet wide. So take your hands on your hips for a moment. Turn your left foot in, turn your right leg out. Pick up the back heel. Take this hip forward, so now you're squared to that side wall. Right, so the hips are squared to the side wall, back heel is down as best you can. And if you really can't get that back heel down, just take a blanket, place it under the back heel. Now you can get your back heel down. If you don't need the blanket, don't use it. But there's nothing wrong with using that blanket. So turn the back thigh in to square the hips. Turn that front thigh out, but still press through the ball of the big toe. And lift both outer knees to outer hips, compact the hips together. Now, hold your elbows behind you. So here, I should show this. Look at me here. Hold your elbows behind you, right? If you can't reach your elbows, hold your forearms. If you can't reach your forearms, hold your wrists. Now press into that back heel. The balance is in that back heel, but also lifting the outer knees to the outer hips, compacting the hips together will really help the stability of this pose. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, come forward. Press into the back heel. Lift especially the front leg, but both legs, outer knees to the outer hips. Extend the chest forward and just pause halfway here. Reestablish the legs, outer knees to outer hips. Extend the chest forward and then turn your torso over your front leg and come down. Navel first, then the chest, then let the head go. Keep the hips up. That left hip, right hip, coming up. Hips equidistant from the floor. Now coming up, press into the back heel. Push the forearms into the back to help lift the chest. And then parallel your feet. You can keep holding on to your elbows just the way they are. If you need to release them to turn to come out, that's okay. Right foot in, left leg out. But you can keep holding them up. Pick up the back heel, turn the hip forward, and take the heel down. Obviously, if you need to adjust your blanket, if you had a blanket under the back heel, then adjust the blanket. Turn the back thigh in, lift the outer knee to the outer hip. Turn the front thigh out. Press the ball of the front big toe. Lift the outer knee to the outer hip. Really compact those hips together as you press the back heel. Now lift the chest. It helps to push the forearms into the back. Lift the chest. Watch those front ribs though. Don't push those forward. And then pressing the back heel. Extend forward. Outer knees to outer hips. You have to maintain that. Pause halfway. Really extend the chest forward. And then turn the torso over that front leg. Come down. Navel first, then the chest, then the head. Say hello to your hamstring. Be kind to it. Don't get mad at your hamstring. Observing your pose. Then coming out. Press the back heel. Push the forearms into your back. Inhale, come up. Parallel your feet. Release the arms. Arms out to the side. Jumper step your feet together. How'd everybody do there? Any major problems I need to know about? You can raise your hand, unmute yourself. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that went swimmingly. All right, fingertips up, bend your legs. Jumper step. Now this is the hard part. You have to cross your forearms the other way, so you have to remember which way you had them before. So it's probably the way that feels weird, but you might have to, yeah, I did it. So that's the way I had it, had to check. So this is the new way. All right, so cross your arms the opposite way, then left foot in, right leg out, lift up the back heel. Of course, place the blanket if you need to. You know, if you need to undo your arms, that's fine. Back thigh in, front thigh out. Lift both outer knees to outer hips. Really establish that. Yes, helps to lengthen the inner thighs. So from the inner knees all the way up to the lower abdomen. Right? Get all this lifting action from the legs so that you're not sinking down onto your legs. Now, inhale, lift in. Exhale, come forward. Compact those hips. Compact those hips. Extend the chest forward, forward, forward. That front leg so strongly lifting the outer knee to the outer hip. That hip goes back. Pause halfway down. Lift through the legs. Those hamstrings too, right? From above the knees, above the back of the knees. Lift those hamstrings up. And then turn your torso over the front leg and begin to come down. Navel first, then chest, then let your head go. It's not trying to get your head to your knee, but your whole torso ultimately is falling onto your leg. Chest towards the big toe, front big toe. Press into the back heel, push the forearms into the body to inhale, come up. Parallel your feet, take a breath. Right foot in, left leg out. Pick up that back heel. Take the hip forward, square those hips. Front thigh turns out, back thigh turns in. Lift both outer knees to outer hips. Keep those hips nice and compact. Press the back heel. Inhale, lift in the chest. Press that back heel, compact the hips, come forward. Come forward. Stop, pause halfway to reestablish the legs. So pressing the back heel, outer knees to outer hips helps to lengthen the inner thighs, helps to pull the hamstrings up into the buttocks, and then extending the chest more, turn your torso over the front leg, and then come down. Navel first, then chest, then let the head go. Observing, being here. And pressing the back heel, push the forearms into the body. Inhale, come up. Parallel your feet. Release the arm. Jumper step your feet together. Oh, looks like someone did, let's see. All right. For Parshva Konasana, I was trying to pick out. You're in Tadasana, be in Tadasana, don't wait for me. All right, for Parshva Konasana, I was trying to pick out the 3 actions to notice. This is Seema, and she's learning how to teach. I keep hearing press through the back heel, lift the outer knees to the outer hips. But the 3rd action is something I'm having a hard time placing. Turn the thighs, right? So when you're in these poses, even here in Tadasana, so you have to turn the thighs. Now, for most of us, it's turn the thighs in so that the kneecaps are forward, because most of us turn the thighs out. But of course, you do have to look at your own knees and make sure, because all of us are different. I noticed, it was some years into my practice, and actually a teacher noticed it, that I had to do it a little differently, because my right leg, I'm going to come out of mirroring for a moment, so this is what I'm calling my right leg, it's already turned in slightly, so I have to turn that one out a little bit and then press my thighs back. So it's the same in many of these standing poses, especially that back thigh has to press back in all of these poses. But even here, so both thighs back, lift the outer knees to the outer hips, lift through the side ribs, extend through the arms. And then we're back to Utthita Trikonasana. Fingertips up, bend your legs, jumper step. Left foot in, right leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. Lift the outer knees to the outer hips. So this back thigh has to go back in order to press the back heel. The front thigh goes out. Lift the outer knees to the outer hips. Compact them together. Extend the arms. Reach through the back arm. Inhale. Exhale. Come down. Just notice. For me, my hips are staying more compact with this back thigh, back, front hip forward. It's already there. Sure, I could adjust it more, but a lot of it was already there, which ended up creating more space in the torso. Press into the back heel, pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet. Other side, right foot and left leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. Back thigh back, press the back heel. Turn the front thigh out, lift the outer knee to the outer hip. Reach through the back arm. Inhale, exhale. Take the hand down. What's different? What's different from the other side? What's different from all the previous times you did this? Pull through the arm, pull yourself up and up. Parallel your feet. Jump or step your feet together. Separate your feet. Extend your arms forward, arms up. Uttanasana. Hold your elbows. Went all this time without hitting the chandelier. There it goes. Now lengthen up through those side ribs. Inhale. Exhale, come forward. Hold your elbows. If you prefer fingertips on the floor, that's fine. Let's hold your elbows. Bounce evenly on your feet. Lift the outer knees to the outer hips. Lengthen from the inner knees to the inner groins. Press those thigh bones back. The hips go forward as the thighs go back. So don't take your hips back. But see if you can actually take your hips slightly forward. The heels may even become light for a moment. Take the hips forward and then press your thighs back. Let your head go. And let your arms go, hands on hips, elbows up, chest forward. Inhale, come up. Watch throwing the hips forward as you come up. Don't do that. The thighs still press back. Someone last week, after class, they emailed me and they were asking if the hips come forward when you do some of these actions, right? The hips have to go back. The thighs go back. Hips over the heels. Hips over the heels. Arms forward, arms up. Reach up through the sideways. Press through the feet. Hold those elbows the opposite way again. It's going to be the way that feels weird. Inhale up. Exhale, come down. Hips come forward, thighs go back. Hips forward, thighs back. Lift outer knees to outer hips. Inner knees, inner groins. If you prefer fingertips on the floor, that's fine. Let your head go. And let your arms go. Hands on your hips, elbows up. Inhale, come up. Don't throw the hips forward to come up, but shoulders over the hips, hips over the heels. Tadasana. Now, watch for a moment. We're going to do this with wide legs. So that was Uttanasana. This is Prasarita Padottanasana. Prasarita is extended. Pada is feet, so extended feet, and then Uttanasana. Prasarita Padottanasana. So you want to lift your chest. Just watch for a minute. You're going to lift your chest and you come forward, take your hands on the floor, and first just extend the chest forward. We'll be here for a few moments. And then you'll walk your hands back, round your back, and take your head onto the floor. But even for me right now, that floor is a little far. So I'm going to take a blanket. There we go. But that blanket won't be enough for some of you. So have a couple blankets or a block. Or those of you that have seen me doing this in class, we would do, a few blocks. Or there's that stack of books is going to come in handy, right? There we go. Now it's the top of the head, not the forehead, okay? Now listen, one more thing. Some of you, that's just going to feel totally crappy. So for you, you're going to use the chair. And you'll just rest your forearms. So I'll show you from the side too so you can really see what I'm doing. But instead of struggling with yourself, guess we didn't use that strap today. Instead of struggling with yourself, you'll take your feet wide here, still coming up, and then you'll come forward and just rest your forearms on the chair, rest your head. Okay? So that's fine to use the chair. If the floor is far for you because you have tight hamstrings, or it's just difficult to get your head down, then that's fine. You do it your way. Okay? For me, what I would have is just a simple blanket here. So feet wide, wider than for the regular standing poses. You want to get a little wider. Hands on hips. Now before you go back, outer knees to outer hips, thigh, bones back, lengthen from the inner knees all the way up to the abdomen. Really compact those hips together. Now when you lift the chest, keep the thighs back. Don't throw the hips and thighs forward. Thighs back. Lift the chest. Watch those ribs. Ribs in. Inhale. On your exhalation, come forward. Hands down on the floor or fingertips. I would do fingertips. Keep the thighs back. Extend the chest forward. Ultimately, you do end up looking straight up. But you should not take it in your neck. The chest moves forward so you can look up. So here, I'm not looking straight forward because I would be doing it in my neck. But lift the outer knees to the outer hips, compact the hips, lengthen from the inner knees all the way up to the lower abdomen. The flesh of the inner thighs moves back, and extend the chest forward. Extend the side ribs forward. And now we're going to take the head down. Again, you can be on that chair. Take your forearms on the chair and your head on the chair. Otherwise, walk your hands back between your feet, round your back, and place the crown of your head on the floor, on the blanket, on the block, on your stack of books. Now press evenly through the feet. Press evenly through the feet. Lift the outer knees to the outer hips. Lengthen through the groins. Now this is important. Push into your hands and lift your shoulders. That's it. Push into your hands, lift your shoulders. Push into your hands, lift your shoulders. Push into the feet, push into your hands, lift your shoulders. And then when you come out, first walk your hands forward. And if you're on the chair, then you're still on the chair. But otherwise, walk your hands forward, extend your chest forward. Heel toe your feet together just a little bit. Now hands on your hips, extend the chest, inhale, come up. And then just walk your feet together, Tadasana. Take whatever props you had out of the way. Utthita Trikonasana. This is it. This is the last one. Fingertips up. Bend your legs. Jump or step your feet apart. Drop your shoulders. Extend the arms. Outer knees to outer hips. Inner knees to the lower abdomen. Left foot in, right leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. Get those actions. So the back thigh goes back, press the back heel. Turn the front thigh out. Lift the outer knees to the outer hips. Keep pressing that back arm back. Inhale, exhale, come down. Take your hand on your hip. Take this back thigh back, press into the heel. Turn the front thigh out. Lift the outer knee to the outer hip. Back thigh back, front hip forward. Imagine you're leaning against the wall. Lean back against the wall. Rotate the torso. Then extend the arm up. Observe your pose. Maybe your lower hand goes down a little bit more. But when you take the lower hand down, don't let the upper hand drop either. The upper hand reaches up, the arms go away from each other. Pull with your arm, pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet. Over to the other side, right foot and left leg out. Front heel in line with your back arch. This back thigh goes back, press the back heel. Turn the front thigh out. Lift the outer knee to the outer hip. Compact those hips together. Reach with that back arm. Press with that back heel. Inhale, exhale, come down. Right hand on your hip. Do the adjustments you need. Back thigh back, press the heel. Turn the front thigh out. Lift the outer knee to the outer hip. Allow the front hand to slide down a little bit if it's there. Imagine you're against the wall. Lean back. Then extend the arm up. As the right hand goes down, as the bottom hand goes down, left arm goes down, right arm goes up. The arms move away from each other. Open up the front and back sides of the body. Observe your pose. Pull yourself up and out. Parallel your feet. Jump or step your feet together. Tadasana. This is where we started. So we mostly used Utthita Trikonasana to see how things were changing through class, but here we are back in Tadasana. What's different? What's changed? And release. Take a blanket for your head, lie back. We'll do one final supported twist before we move into our Shavasana. So lie back with your head on your support, the blankets just touching your shoulders, arms out to the sides, palms up or down, your choice. Bend your legs into your chest. Extend through both arms, opening up the front and back sides of the body. Squeeze your thighs together. Don't let them separate. Extending, especially for that left side, but both arms really extending. Turn the torso to the left as the knees go to the right. Don't let the thighs come apart. So you have to push that right thigh up towards the left thigh. And pushing up with the right leg, come up, take your feet on the floor, square your hips, square your shoulders. Again, extending through both arms, broadening across the front and back sides of the body. Bend your legs into your chest, extend again. The torso turns to the right as the knees now come to the left. Keep those thighs together. So the left thigh has to push up into the right thigh. Extend through both arms. Turn the torso to the right as the knees go to the left. Left thigh pushing into the right thigh as the right thigh moves down. Pushing with the left leg, come up. Place your feet on the floor, square your hips, square your shoulders. Bend your legs into your chest. Give yourself a little hug here. Say something kind to yourself. Honor the beauty, the goodness, the kindness, the love that's inside of you. The true splendor that's inside of you. On your inhalation, take your feet to the floor. Scoot the flesh of your buttocks towards your heels. Straighten your legs one at a time. Let your legs go. Take your arms at 30-degree angles to your body or wherever they're comfortable. Of course, if you need something underneath your knees, place them. Or if you just want to bend your legs, knees together, feet apart, you can certainly do that if you're feeling any irritation in your lower back. Now it's time to let go. Let everything go. Let your body itself become heavy. And surrender to gravity. Let your arms, your legs flow away from the torso. Finding a flow of energy, an opening, a releasing. Let the face itself become soft and still. It should begin to feel as if the skin, the flesh, is dissolving away, melting away. Tongue resting on your lower palate. Temples softening. Soft throat, sides of your neck, releasing. Release, relax your ears. And draw your ears inward. The outer ear releases, the inner ear releases as you draw the ears inward. And without seeking to create a sound with the breath, allow yourself to listen to the breath from the inside of the body. Not forcing a deep breath, not forcing any kind of breath. Instead, allowing the breath to breathe you. Letting the breath use your body to do its work of breathing, and you becoming the observer. Beginning to lengthen the inhalation. Soft, smooth, peaceful inhalation. Lengthening the exhalation. Take a few breaths like that. Lengthen inhalation. But even longer exhalation. Keeping the exhalation slightly longer than the inhalation. So taking slight control of the breath. Move your toes, move your nose. Bend your legs, place your feet on the floor with your knees together, feet apart. Take your hands onto your abdomen or onto your chest. When you feel ready, extend your right arm past your right ear, roll to the right, be on your right side for just a moment. Whenever you feel ready, take your time. Whenever you feel ready, take your left hand, place it on the floor in front of your heart, turn your torso towards the floor first, then push to come up. Come up chest first, head last. Bring your palms together at your chest. Take a moment, observing the quality of your body, the quality of your mind, and the quality of your breath. How has your world changed since we started our practice? And let's close our practice together by chanting one collective Om. Deep inhalation. Gently let your eyes open. Big smile. Namaste. Bow to the divine within you.
Thank you, Jonathan.
You're welcome. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
So
you,
nice to
Jonathan.
be here together this morning.
Thank you, Jonathan.
It was great.
You're welcome. Of course, if you have questions, let me know.
Have a good day. It was wonderful.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
good.
It was so good.
Good. I'm so happy to hear that.
Jonathan, what days do you teach?
What was that, Paige?
What days are you teaching?
I'm teaching Tuesdays and Thursdays in the morning.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Well, have a beautiful day.
Have a good day.
Okay,
Next
thank you.
time. See you
See you,
Thursday.
everybody.